So, you want to get started in sales, or maybe you just want to up your game? Well, we're going to talk to Gary Kurtis on today's Spotlight series, and Gary is going to help us understand the ins and outs of sales and what you need to know to be successful in sales. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, make sure you comment, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get more notifications on the Field One Post Spotlight series. Let's get started. So, Gary, thanks for joining me today. I know you're a super busy guy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. Absolutely delighted. Thank you. For having me.
Let's start off with the basic stuff, right? So just tell me who you are and what it is you do.
So my name is Gary Kurtis. I started my venture really last year. It's called Sales Tips 101, which is sales coaching and workshops. And it's really the culmination of really what I've done my entire career, which is coaching people. I've done both sales and sales training, sales management. I've done it all, and I've really enjoyed it and always had a passion for it.
So, I mean, everybody's like, oh, I can sell, I can't sell. Where do you find you're offering the most help geographically? Where do you find you do your business the most? In Pennsylvania, in Delaware, where do you find?
Yeah, right here in Pennsylvania where I live. I live in Ambler, so I can go anywhere, and I do go everywhere, but this is my primary focus right here.
Right, and which sort of brings me to the next point, which is when did you start this company, and what was the reason for doing so?
Sure. So I really started in 2019, but that was when I was still working full-time. So all I really did was just what I could do. Developed a website, made a few contacts, but it really wasn't until last year that I left my full-time job and I was able to put all of my efforts into it. So it really started last May, and it's only been a relatively short period of time that I put a plan together and I put all my efforts into it. This is it. This is all I do.
And for those that don't know, Gary did a presentation to my marketing team, and I thought it was really very informative, and there was a lot of things in there that I never really thought about. It's a different way of selling, a much more friendly way of selling, I thought. It was polar opposite to the traditional car salesman that comes in and says, you need a car, here's the one you want. And then they nag the heck out of you. And I want to ask you straight up, what sort of marketing techniques have you used for your own business that you found to be successful?
Well, the marketing techniques I use are really the way that I've always operated, the way I always sold. And it all comes down to a couple of very simple principles, Jonathan. You're dealing with people, and you have to develop relationships if you're ever going to be successful doing anything, whether it's sales or anything. You have to develop a relationship with someone, and that's based on developing a comfort level so they'll want to deal with you. They'll want to do business with you. They'll see a reason to do it, not because they're being pushed into anything, but they're being told what to do, but because they see compelling reasons that benefit them. They're really excited and motivated. Those are the kind of relationships. That's how I've always sold. And that's kind of what I've done in my entire marketing and networking activities. It's developing those warm relationships so people will develop that comfort level with you.
And speaking of the comfort level and developing those relationships, how do you track that stuff? I mean, and here's an example. So I'm a video editor. I own a video production company, a marketing agency, what have you. But I'm busy editing, and I love talking to people, and I'm quite nosy about what everybody's business is. How do you keep track of all these quote unquote leads that you get? How do you keep track of those?
Well, anybody who is in any business where you do have a lot of activity and you have a lot of contacts, you should definitely use a very good CRM program because it's a great way to do just that. Now, short of that, you just have to have a system. And the system can be, I don't recommend anything being tracked manually, but at the very least, it could be just using Excel spreadsheets. The most important thing, and this is what I've always done, is I track all activities. So anything that happens, it gets tracked. Any conversations that I have, I identify all of that information. I've learned the hard way. You definitely never want to go by memory, and you want to track everything, and you want to do it that day, because if you don't do it that day, it builds up and you're never going to remember to do it. You're never going to remember all the details. That has always been a lifesaver for me, to record every little thing that goes on. So then I can go back several weeks from now, several months from now, and I see everything that was important in developing that relationship.
And so a day in the life of Gary Kurtis, you get up, you have breakfast, what have you, you sit down to the computer. What's your day like? Do you start by, looking at people you haven't met for a while? I mean, how does that work for you?
So, my life is really, as I mentioned, Jonathan, I really started this thing in May. And with the economy completely shut down, I had to really change the business plan that I had put together, which has been heavily focused on networking. And so all of my activities are networking related. My typical day is I'm involved now in up to 25 different types of networking groups or organizations. So I've always got a lot of things going on from that. From that, I've met so many people, and there's one-on-one meetings that are created. And then I've been very fortunate that I've recently gotten a number of clients. So I have client work that I'm doing, which is meeting with them. It's doing deep dives. It's putting together my recommendations. So it's really a combination of all three. And my schedule, fortunately, has been extremely busy every single day doing just that. A lot of the things that I had originally put together in my plan, a lot of it being reach out kind of activity, I haven't really done any of it. Number one, because I haven't really had to, because I've been so flooded with activity. And number two, because I really haven't had time to get to it yet, but I will. I mean, there's a lot of things that I want to eventually do. But what's been really nice for me, quite frankly, is since I'm just starting this thing up, and again, it gets back to the way that I've always sold, that I don't push out myself on people. I made a conscientious decision that I'm not going to reach out to people immediately. And I've got a lot of activity. I've got a lot of people that have come to me. I've got a number of clients. 100% of it is people are coming to me because they've gotten to know me. They've heard about me. They've seen what I'm capable of doing, how I help, the way I work. And that's exactly how I've really wanted it to be.
Yeah, and I will say I love talking to you. I mean, we've had some great one-to-ones. We've learned a lot about each other, and we're gonna have to go to Boston one day so you can show me the sites. But I think it's really interesting that this relationship style of selling, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is comfortable with it. So what kind of tips can you offer our viewers in terms of building these types of relationships?
So I've always looked at sales as, sales is really the wrong word, because to most people, sales means that you're meeting with someone to sell them something. And that's not how I operate. So it goes under a very simple principle. I don't know anybody that likes to be told what to do. No one does.
Right.
People like to feel that they have total control of how they want to run their life. Well, that's the way sales really should be, and how I've always operated. And how do you do that? You take the time, whether it's researching ahead of time or just really coming up with enough really good, intelligent questions, but you take the time to really get to know someone and really get to help them on their own to identify the things that are important to them, what their needs are, what their problems are. So you're not telling them, they're seeing on their own. And it's a technique, and it takes a lot of work, it takes time. But if you can do it the right way, and it's all based on, you're dealing with people, a lot of it is backed by psychology, which I was originally a psychology major, that gave me an appreciation for that. But it's all based on understanding that people need to feel empowered on their own to identify what they need, what their problems are, and then most importantly, what they feel, not what you feel, what they feel they need to solve those problems. And then you're there as simply an advocate for them. You're there to help them to get to where they want to be. That really helps you to develop the kind of relationship that really is what sales should be all about. And then you're not just making a sale if you make one, but you're getting a customer. You're developing a relationship that will last because you realize that that person cares about you. It's almost like that salesperson, they make you feel like you are their only client. They have no others.
Right.
They show that much care for you. That's how it should be. And very few salespeople, even if they understand that, they don't understand how to do it.
And it's definitely not a sprint.
No, absolutely. It should not be.
Right.
If it's a sprint, then you've got nothing more than a quick sale out of it, but you're not getting a customer at all.
Right. And how many touch points do you think you have with any given customer? How often do you communicate with your customers?
It's a hard question to answer, Jonathan, because, I'm a firm believer that I'm not going to, and this is how I think, again, sales should work. I'm not going to reach out to anybody unless I have a reason to reach out to them. In other words, you should always reach out to someone with an idea or a suggestion or something that you think that they could really benefit from. That's the reason to reach out to someone. Now, is it nice to reach out to say hello once you develop the relationship? Sure. And a lot depends on the type of relationship you have, how long you've had the relationship. I mean, there's a lot of factors, obviously, that come into play. But generally speaking, reach out to someone if you think you've got an idea for them that can help, because then they'll be really receptive to your reach out. They'll be excited to hear from you. Not only that, but they'll know that moving forward, when they hear from you, geez, they probably have a pretty good, idea for me. They probably have something that I'd be interested in. So they'll be excited to hear.
I know that when I started editing in video back in the late 80s, the challenge for me was I was so young, and I was working for a company. So the sales team always brought business in, and I would do my editing and so on and so forth. And the biggest challenge that I think I had is when I stepped out on my own in 2007. It was one of credibility. Now, I already had 2 clients that I'd been working with for a long time, and that was great. But we all know that nothing lasts forever. And the issue of credibility and trust was such a big challenge for me. And I would make demo reels to put out there. Look, I've worked with all these major corporations. I've created all these videos, and I put all the information out about myself so they could learn something about me. But the thing I didn't do is I did not do that relationship thing that you're talking about. So for somebody who's just getting started in their own business, what sort of recommendations do you have for them to start building that credibility and that trust now that they're out on their own?
The best advice I can give is to realize that, first of all, nobody is going to be all things to all people. So what you have to do is take a step back. And the first thing you want to do is determine what really differentiates me. What is my talent level? What do I do that hopefully is a little bit different or better than other people in the industry? Then once you know that, then you want to understand the market for what you do. So you got to do research. And sometimes you have to do a lot of research to go out into the market and find where is there that market for what I can do really, really well. Who do I go after? Because you can't go after them all.
Right.
Then once you've defined what that market can be, don't stop there. Keep the shovel out. Do more digging. Because then what you want to find out is, what do they need? How are their needs currently being addressed? And then within that market, you'll find hopefully a segment of the market that you've then really identified could have a need for your services. Now, from all the research that you've done, hopefully what that does, and I call it creating that magnet effect. You want to take the things that you do really well with that market that you've now identified you think could be a great fit for what you do really well. And there's that magnet. You bring them together. And what that also hopefully does, if you've done your homework, is it allows you to create some great questions to ask. So when you're now approaching that market, you now know these are the kind of questions I want to ask, because ultimately I think that I can help you. I don't know for sure. The only way I'm going to know is I'd like to be able to have a conversation with you, ask you some questions to see if in fact there are some needs there that there could be a fit and we could help. And that's really how you develop it.
And
What I also am a big advocate of is sharing stories. I mean, ultimately, when you approach someone, it should be, hey, I think I've got something for you based on some work that I've done for someone just like you. And what I want to do is simply have a conversation where we get together. I can share with you what we've done. And then I want to ask some questions about you so we can ultimately see if there's a fit. And that whole process, also, what I like about it, if it's done the right way, it's very low pressure, very low key. We're just having a conversation. I think I can help you, but I don't know. I want to see if we can find out if I can help and how. So it's very, very low key.
And now two things. And one thing is, in doing all that research, what I found is you have to talk to people to do that research. And so there you are. Now you're building these relationships, doing your research. But I think it's very interesting that when I first started as an editor, there was always a rate card. Any client that came to work at the company I worked for would have a rate card, and they would say, "Okay, Jonathan, I'm going to pay you, I don't know, $175 an hour actually, to work with Jonathan." And so, okay, so I can only afford 10 hours worth. So, the whole money, the whole billing aspect of it kind of got lost in that business model because the salespeople had already convinced or helped the clients understand that they needed the services for the company I was working for. But when you strike out on your own, it's very hard to do that. And so how much is this going to cost comes up all the time. And for me, what I learned from my discussions with Gary was you never tell them how much something's going to cost in your consult. So my final question to you is, how the heck does a new person get around this idea of cost?
So the answer should always be, you don't know, because that's an honest answer. You always want to be honest with people, and that's the truth. You don't know.
Because everybody's different.
If you go to a guy that builds houses and you say, hey, I want you to build me a house. How much is it going to cost? You know what he's going to say? I don't know. Depends. It depends on what you want and how I'm going to configure a solution for you. It's a house, but it's a solution in this case. It all depends on exactly what I need to build to satisfy you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully get a lot of really great information from you, ask you a lot of questions, and really try to understand what your needs are so I can then recommend the right solution, something that is going to address your needs, something that is not going to be too expensive. I don't want to sell you anything you don't need. But on the other end, I don't want to sell you something that is going to be less than what you need, because then you're going to be miserable because you didn't get what you need. Right. What I will then promise you is when we get to that point, you will get a proposal from me that will identify exactly what we're doing, why, what the benefits are. Yes, it will have the investment, but if I've done a good job, you'll be able to see that the investment is just that. It's really a sense where I'm paying my way because the investment is going to give you the benefits that you're looking for.
Yeah. And my formal degree is in instructional media. And one of the things that they always teach you is repetition is important. And some people who are watching this video may say, well, Harry answered that question earlier, but that's repetition. And I think that with sales and marketing, I think repetition is important. Staying in touch with people is important. Staying on people's radar is important. And my experience in the last 13 years or so has been just that. As long as you're in touch with your current clients and talking to new people, as long as you stay on their radar and you're the ethical kind of person they like to work with and your work is good, it's usually not really a problem. So if somebody's watching this video, and I can't imagine who wouldn't do this, and they want to reach out to you, I've got your information up on the screen, all your contact information on the screen.
Right.
But how do you prefer to talk to people? Do you do email? Do you phone? What's your preferred method of communication?
Well, the ideal method of communication is, of course, to meet with people. There's nothing better than that. But obviously, in this economy right now, what we're doing right now, Zoom has been phenomenal. So I love having Zoom meetings. I'm very, very reachable and extremely accessible. You have my email address, you have my phone number, which I'm sure you've posted in the session, Jonathan. I respond right away. No, there's no problem whatsoever with responsiveness. And anybody that wants to meet with me, my schedule is open for anybody at all times.
I highly encourage you to reach out to Gary, especially if you're just getting started. Get yourself on the right path. Gary, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
It's been very enjoyable. We've obviously, as you said, Jonathan, had a number of conversations, and it's been very, very enjoyable and very appreciative. And I'm very, very appreciative for any warm introduction, anybody that I can help, as you mentioned, whether it's a startup, a new business, small business, all of the above. I know I can help people. And I'm sure you've mentioned this, unlike the big guys, I am doing this to help people. I have a very, very reasonable rate structure that I can assure anybody I will fit into anyone's budget. That's never going to be an issue.
Wow. I wish I knew you when I gotten started. So I'm going to say goodbye, but have an excellent, excellent day. And I hope you stay safe and stay healthy. And we'll catch up with you the next IMP meetup or networking event.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
All right. Have a good one. See you later.
Okay. Have a good day.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video with Gary Kurtis. Remember, reach out to Gary. He'd love to talk to you. If you like this video and you want to get some more videos, help us support this channel by clicking the thumbs up to like it, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you get more notifications when the next Spotlight video is available from Field One Post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.